Alright, everybody, today we will be talking about the Eternals. Just a quick little background because I wanted to do a video on Black Knight since that was announced, but I figured I'd separate them because it's just a bit easier and makes the video shorter. So, the Eternals, right? We know the cast is stacked, right? We got Kumail Nanjiani, Madong Sayok, Richard Madden, Angelina Jolie, Gemma Chan, Lauren Ridloff, Salma Hayek, Leah McHugh, Brian Tyree Henry, and then of course Kit Harington now. This movie, especially with the amount that Marvel is promoting it, is going to be huge. Now, background of the Eternals is kind of insane. So they were created by the Celestials. The Celestials came to ancient Earth, maybe a couple thousand years ago, and got like early humans. And sort of like what the Kree did to make Inhumans, they did a similar thing, and they created the Eternals. But they created them to be the defenders of Earth because their counterpart are the Deviants, which are like the failed first version of the experiment. And they're like an evil, unfit, non-perfect version of them. Like Deviants are described as monstrous and like grotesque, as an example. And in the comics, I believe Thanos is actually a Deviant because he's from the planet Titan, or the moon Titan, which, it's been changed in the MCU a bit. So, I don't know if in the movies they're going to explore that a bit. Maybe they will show Thanos' planet exploding or being taken over, or running out of resources, and which is why he goes on his conquest. Maybe that happened because of the Celestials and what they were doing with the Eternals, or vice versa, because the movie versions are obviously different than the comic versions. It's another version of the story, so that could be very interesting. They could show something like that. So the Eternals are basically immortal, right? That's why they're called eternal. They don't fatigue, they're immune to all diseases and poison. Temperature isn't a thing with them, like they're not ever cold or hot. So like at one point they said that they could die if they like spread all their molecules over a vast distance. But then they kind of retconned that and they said, no, even if they do, that doesn't matter. The machine, the quote unquote machine that's keeping them alive has to be destroyed, and it's assumed the machine is Earth. So if you destroyed Earth, maybe you destroy the Eternals, but it's kind of unknown. They're basically, you can't kill them. And then they're also like immune to everything because they have like this mental bond with their body. So like they can control every aspect of their body, like how much they're breathing from every air molecule. They can take oxygen out of water, so they can breathe in water. They can do all of this even if they're asleep. So it's like sort of stated that if you can break their concentration, then they can become vulnerable in a way. So that's something you can always look at as well. I think the movie, you're going to have to power them down, right? You can't have an unbeatable being because then what's the threat? So I think they'll have something like that where maybe there's some sort of mind control, and then their body, can actually take damage and whatnot. The two characters I want to bring up quickly at the very end because it leads into the next video is so Richard Madden is playing Icarus. He is like, in my mind, he's kind of like the de facto leader of the Eternals, but they're kind of like their own all leaders, right? And then Kit Harington is playing a Black Knight, and why he's in this movie, well, that's going to be explained in the next video. Yeah, it should be very interesting. It'll be like a sort of Game of Thrones reunion in a way. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you have any questions, comments, or what do you think is going to happen below, and yeah, let's get a discussion going. Also, really quickly, I heard somewhere, I don't remember where it was from, that this movie, The Eternals, they're gonna have amnesia, and so they're not going to know that there are these, these immortal beings with powers, and all their powers are like flight, energy, blast, mind reading, the basic stuff. So I heard that that's actually what's gonna happen in the movie, which is kind of cool because it's like maybe do they get amnesia every generation, like every 100 years or so? What is the reasoning for them to not know that there are these immortal beings? So if that is true, that'd be a really cool plot point. I'm excited to see that play out.